further down.
Ooh, that is controversial. Very early doors, that's controversial.
This is the moment of truth. I could go into the lead.
No. No.
Here's the first bite of the morning. I don't know what it is because it's... Oh, yeah, I do know what it is. It's a bloody bream.
Oh, what a shame. And to think some people think Ed's a professional. Well, welcome to the latest verses on the Prologic series, and I've been ranked up to go against Ed Betteridge today because Luke was just getting a bit too easy. So the challenge has been increased. So thank you very much for, first of all, coming along, and also another fish rod. So could bring you up to speed. We're at a lake called Clattercote, which is Coventry-ish area.
Banbury, Daventry type place, I think.
So somewhere there geographically, and it's extremely down in water, as you can see from the opening shots. This is a 21-acre reservoir, and it's currently probably half full. I'd say it's a good 7-8 foot down.
Yeah, it's got to be.
So we are going to be bivvying up and fishing from what is pretty much the lake bed normally. So it does mean that the amount of fish are in here are now condensed into a smaller venue. Can't say this is a venue I've been to before, and
no.
Have you?
No, I'm only about an hour and a half away from here, and it's I've not even heard of it, to be honest with you. But then again, it's not really the sort of place that's on my radar. You know, it seems like it's absolutely full of fish and great for a bite. Yeah, I saw that, yeah. Great for a bite, but from what we've seen sticking their heads out and crashing, they don't seem particularly big.
Yeah.
So I generally go for bigger fish venues. So yeah, it's not strange that it's not come on my radar, basically.
That's fine. It hasn't for me either. So it's a neutral venue. Neither of us have visited before, but for the principle of this match is just to get as many bites as possible, really. Total weight is going to win, which I think is still going to be fairly low for the number of fish we'll catch from what we've been seeing, as we said.
Yeah.
But we have had a little walk up and down. The weather's not been great, so we're probably going to be quite quick to get stuff set up. But this is where we've seen lots of fish showing, and even whilst doing this piece of the camera, we've seen them. But we have got to do the trusty lens flip, so I'll let you call. That's
Samyang side up, I love.
You love up, and you get to choose swim.
Yeah.
I've lost. So some things never change. I always win the toss against Luke, and I was going to go right, but since filming here, we've seen a fair few fish show left. So I think we're going to switch barrows round, and I'm going to go left-hand side, if that's all right.
Bugger.
Right, let's get showered up before the next shower comes in, I think.
Yeah, cool.
So my luck on peg draw seems to keep on running, even though it's not against Luke. So for any of you that may have thought it was fixed against Luke, it really isn't. I just seem to keep winning the lens flip, and it wasn't even my call this time. So I chose the left-hand side of the swim. To be honest, I don't think it's going to make a big bit of difference because we're both fishing next to each other, fishing straight out. We've seen the majority of the fish in this area, and even while setting up, and I've had a bit of a lead about as well, there's been fish showing further across and some even quite close in as well. So I think there's some fish, well, there clearly is quite a few fish in this area. And as I said in the beginning, because this lake is normally 21 acres when it's full, those fish haven't gone anywhere. They've just got less water to swim around in now. But still have to try and find them, of course, because you can still be on a lake this size and they're grouped up somewhere. So we came along, saw the fish here, and these are the swims we're in. So to start with, I put the rods, I just sort of pinging the lead around, going quite far over, not all the way across, just in case people rock up and fish there, but to roughly where the fish have been showing. And as I was leading about, a fish showed, and I clipped up at 18 wraps, or just shy of 18 wraps. So it's not very far. It should be an achievable distance, even if the wind picks up, which it's supposed to. But we've also had fish showing closer in. So I don't think it's going to matter too much where we cast, and it's also pretty regimented. What we're walking around on is the lake bed, and that pretty much continues onto going underwater. So out there, it's pretty much like what we're walking around on. It feels pretty smooth over the odd little patch of some rocks and gravels and things, but on the most part, I think there's not a lot out there, so I don't think we need to worry about snags or anything like that. That leads me on to the actual lead setup I'm using. Flip the free spool on there, bring this down. So I'm using a lead clip setup, but so I don't lose the lead, because I'm expecting, well, I'm confident there's going to be a fair few bites. Just lick and stick that on. I'm putting the tail rubber on fairly firm because I don't really want it to come off all the time, but I've not got the bung in on that lead clip. So once the fish takes the rig, there's still that bolt effect to an extent, and then that lead will be running up and down the line. So it's ultra safe, but also means that the fish can't really use the weight of the lead to shake the hook out. So I'm hoping that nice sharp hook, the initial bolt will hook the fish, and I'm not ditching the lead every time, because like I said, I don't think there's any need to. So that's the setup leading up to the rig, and the rig itself is dead simple. Not a solid bag for a change. So I know I normally use a solid bag on these sort of sessions, but with the weather as it's meant to be, I didn't really want to be faffing around with PVA or solid PVA bags as much as I used to normally. So I've gone for a much more whittled down approach, still using PVA because I like a little extra bit of attraction around my hook bait, and also anti-tangle properties that this is giving me. So the rig itself, really simple, is just a semi-stiff coated braid, about, I don't know, 7-8 inches in length, stripped just about an inch from the eye to give it a little bit more movement around there, a little blob of putty on that little stripped back section, just so when it gets picked up, it drops down a bit quicker. A little kicker on the eye, and a little bit more tubing on the shank just to trap the hair. But just to make sure that nothing tangles on the cast, it shouldn't anyway, but I also want to put a bit of extra attraction out there. I've then got a four boilies in a PVA mesh bag, and then I've threaded the rig through that. So the hook is sort of sandwiched between the boilies, that can't move anywhere, little parcel of attraction. So to be honest, it's very similar to a solid bag presentation in that there's a little mouthful of bait out there. The fish are clearly here. If I start to get bites, I might be tempted to put some bait out. I have bought a bucket full of boilies, some little particles and things as well if I need. I'll have to check the rules. I think particles are allowed, but I'll have to check as well. But if I start catching fish, I might put some bait out, but for now, that's all that's going out. The only difference I've made is the toppers. So there's a 50mm bottom bait, same as what I'm putting in the bags and freebies. And then on the bottom, it's got little 12mm wafters to top it. So it's a little snowman setup. One's pink, one's white, and I've got one rig which has no topper whatsoever. This is what I've been using recently to good effect on my locals, with no extra traction, nothing high vis, and it's been doing the business. So a really, really simple approach. Should be easy to get those distances with this small little parcel of bait, because if the weather does change as it's supposed to, I don't want to be fishing a tactic that I'm not going to be able to reach the distance that I'm trying to fish to start with. If the fish come closer in, brilliant. If not, I can still fish at that sort of range. It's settled down now, it's not raining, the wind's settled down a little bit, and I think we're about 15 minutes until match starts. So I'm all set to go. We'll probably run through Ed's setup in a second, but I think for now, get the rods out, hopefully start getting some bites under our belt, and then we'll run through the tactics that Ed's using as well. Right then, Ed, I call that 1 o'clock.
Let's get them out.
You good to go?
Yep.
Good to go. That's where the niceties end. The match is beginning.
I think you're a bit organised than me, just clipping up and...
Sorry?
I think you're a bit more organised than me, clipping up and finding spots.
One out. I wouldn't say it's a spot, it's more, that's the range I saw them. That's one. Oh, one just lumped out there as well. I say lumped out, it could have been a roach.
A record roach. Oh, great, it's just starting to rain.
Perfect. Oh, that's a frapper. Try that one again.
I thought you were going to pretend that's what you're trying to do.
Sorry?
I thought you were pretending that's what you're trying to do. Ooh.
There it is. Little win that I missed whilst wrapping out, I think.
Now, really?
Well, that's the start we wanted.
Good start, mate.
Well, I ballsed up on my second cast, but the first one's gone off before I've been able to get the spare rig ready to go out. So this is a 2-rod venue, but I've got 3 rods with me in case it kicks off and I can get a rod straight back out. Happy days, what a start. Haven't got it in yet, but always nice to get the first fish under your belt. Didn't expect it to be that quick.
You're not messing about? Is that where you saw them showing?
Yeah. So I clipped at 18 because I cast to where it showed, clipped them both. Yeah, the second one I must have had a wind knot from wrapping up and didn't notice.
Right.
Now I've seen the size of the fish that I've been showing. This feels better, but I think it's coming on that ledge now.
Could be the 30.
It could be.
There you go.
Just went solid.
Looks all right, mate.
Well, it went solid for a second. I think there was quite a ledge there.
Oh, okay, what, literally went over it?
It just went lock solid as if it hit a wall. Let's go. You're quite right, aren't you?
Yeah, should be all right. You're not going to try and wipe me out, are you?
That's Luke's
is this a
tactics
tactic?
normally. That's a Luke tactic. He did it on the last one.
By accident?
He says it was. Haven't seen it yet.
Can we net it for you? You got it?
Can do, as long as you're not going to bump it off.
Well, it's early days yet.
Hey, first of the match.
Well done, mate.
He'll be all right sitting there for a sec, won't he?
Yeah. Double, I think.
Lovely.
Well done.
You won't be saying that in a while. I'll let you read the weight that's going to make you start quaking in your boots.
11 pounds 4. I'll give you on that one.
Thank you.
Well done. A double to start with.
There we go. A fairly instantaneous start to the match for me. This one must have just landed on its head because within minutes, this one had gone off. And at £11.4, it's a nice double figure lead to start the match. Under no illusions that this won't be the only fish. There's going to be plenty, I'm sure. And if they're all as wriggly as this one, they're going to be fun on the mat. Let's get him back.
First bite. I don't think he's particularly big, but he's keen. I just hope I get him in. I'm always a bit dubious on barbel hooks. I don't use them very often in most of my fishing. I've only got a little size 10 on. But these rods are quite forgiving, so hopefully that balances anything out. And this rod was right across towards the far bank, and by the feel of it, it's very, very shallow across there. So I don't know if it's shallow across the far bank and dips deeper in the middle or not, I don't know. But I certainly think my side of the swim is a lot shallower than Joe's side of the swim. Right under Joe's lines at the minute, so trying to not wipe him out. No, he's come out. We've got away with it. It'd probably be more detrimental to me if I picked up a line. Oh,
I think you may have.
I might have picked up a line.
Ah, the old Luke tactic.
Right little scrappers these are. No, the stamping here isn't massive, but they don't half put a good account of themselves. They've been ripping line off.
Another one just showed, wasn't it?
Yeah. And again. Oh, off the mark. Well, I'm off the mark. And this is why he fought so well. He's just a long, lean, powerful fish. Great scrap from a nice little fish like this. Now, from what we've weighed and what we've held up for the camera for you so far, it would indicate that I'm in the lead by about 2 pounds. But between landing this and doing this little bit to camera, Joe's had 2 takes. So he's now got 2 fish, one in my net, one in his net. So yeah, this lead is very, very brief for me, unfortunately. £11, 11.5.
11.5. Slip this one back. It's got a face only a mother could love. I'm gonna go 12.2 on this one. Oh.
It is 12.2.
Is it actually? What a guess.
You've weighed that before, haven't you?
People are going to say I have, but you're my witness. There we go. I've had 3 now. The other one that I've just slipped back was 11.7, and I slipped that one back because this was the prettier one of the 2. And this one was actually my biggest so far at 12 pound, 2 ounces. I guessed it at that and it was bang on by the ounce, so I'm quite happy with that as well. But lovely start to the match. I think if it carries on like this, we'll be definitely bringing in the rods after tea and getting a good night's sleep and hitting it again tomorrow morning. May eat my words if it slows up, but somehow I don't think that's going to happen with the amount of fish showing in front of us. I've got 2 rods to sort out, get them back out, but I think we really need a brew and a sit down. Sound good?
Awesome.
Thank you very much for the... Ooh, you're off.
There we go.
Thank you very much for the cup of tea.
You all right, mate? No problem at all?
Now I know how Luke feels.
Well, the tea boy?
Oh no, I'm the little guy next to the bigger guy.
It's only because my bucket's bigger.
Well, what a manic start to the session. I think that was 4 bites in an hour.
Yeah, it was a bit mad.
Apologies for you at home if that was a bit disjointed and just a few shots cobbled together, but there's not a lot else I could do with that other than get the fish and weigh them and put them back. But we've now set the rods back out. You've pinged both yours back out. You're a bit more happy while they've landed.
Yeah.
That manic spell.
Yeah, that's it. It's yeah, I've got the what was the right-hand rod. I've changed that to the left-hand rod and got that in deeper water. Mm-hmm. I am a little bit concerned about where I'm fishing now, and I was a bit gutty when the draw come out. But since I've got the rods in, I'm even more concerned about my side of the swim.
Okay.
Because what we've seen a lot of fish just to my right, and I mean literally just to my right when we first got here. But by having a cast around, that is a lot shallower than what's in front of you. Mm-hmm. So I think the one's just turned up there. So my concern is I've seen nothing in that kind of 250, 300 yards up there.
Yeah.
All we've seen is a bit here and it's shallower. It ain't going to get any warmer tonight. So I'm very worried that most of the fish are going to push that way, and I'm going to really struggle. So the only thing that I thought of as soon as I got the rods out and realised, oh God, he's away again.
What you're saying is your head's gone, yeah?
My head's not gone, but I'm definitely on the wrong side of the swim.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I was running to my rod.
Yeah. And he's got another one, by the way. Oh, he's fell off.
No.
Is it not?
Don't look so happy.
I better go and net it for him, I suppose. It's a mirror.
Looks a little bit bigger than the other ones.
It's got a dorsal.
That's an extra pound. There we go.
That might be the biggest fish.
Nice one.
So not only have I not got the biggest fish, I'm now losing 4-1. And it's all to do with the draw.
Wow.
And you've got an extra rod set up, which I never even thought
I
of.
just came prepared.
Well, I didn't even know you could do that. The last time I fished a match was about 15 years ago.
You should have thought, he's beaten Luke pretty much every time. Got to bring my A game. But you're coming straight off the back of catching big fish in France, full of confidence.
Got lucky with them.
Are they on Frank's rods?
What?
Are they on Frank's rods?
No, they're on my rods. If anyone's watching this, go and watch the quest on the Prologic channel. We had an awesome session. Frank banked an absolute cracking common. And I had a awesome leather, real long dark thing. Bit bigger than what we're catching here.
I bet the venue wasn't as stunning.
About what?
I bet the venue wasn't as stunning.
There was water in it.
Sorry for that little interruption there, Ed. I do apologise. Sorry, you were saying something about your head going?
My head's not gone, but I think I am in the shallower part of the lake. So as we said earlier, that up there is the shallow part, and that down there is the deeper part. And I'm pretty much on the cusp of where it goes from shallow to deep, from what I can gather from leading around. Because if I go to the left, I mean, I've got a bit of depth of water. if I go to the right, I haven't got much depth of water at all. So my confidence is ebbing away a little bit. And while you're playing that fish, I've come up with a little plan.
You're going to poach my water?
I'm not going to poach your water, no. But I'm going to move. And I'm going to just move there, just the other side of that willow tree, so I can access some deeper water further down.
Ooh, that is controversial. Very early doors, that's controversial. I could give you an extra willow's length on the opposite bank, but I do want to see you catch, and because I'm a gentleman, I'll let you move. But if you end up winning, I'm going to remember this moment.
Yeah, but you've got 3 rods on the go. I haven't got 3 rods.
I'm not fishing
If I catch a fish, I have to unhook it, put a new rig on and put it back out again.
Comment
You're
below.
Just straight off.
Comment below if you think this is Ed just not coming prepared, because I think that's exactly what it is.
It could be that. It could be that. Like I said, the last match I fished was the British Championships in 2007. So I'm a little rusty.
How'd you do then?
Got to the semi-final and missed out by £2 on the final. Yeah, that was a bit annoying, but it is what it is.
Bit more than £2 in it at the moment, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's probably a bigger fish than the
it
one I
is,
had.
yeah. So I'm gonna finish this tee, getting him out, and that looks a nice mid-double, I think. Give me a nice healthy lead before your controversial move.
Yes, and then I'm gonna turn it all around. Probably not.
Outrageous.
I'm not moving the bivvy.
No.
Just moving the rods. Just over 15.
15-2 again.
Well done. Biggest fish.
It's what we came for.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. 15-2. This was the interruption whilst we were having our cup of tea, and a very welcome interruption of that. It's the biggest one so far, and my 4th fish, I believe. So, very nice start. I keep saying start to the match because it is only a few hours in. And as you've heard, Ed is going to do the controversial move to my left in a second once this one's back.
It's not against the rules.
Sorry?
It's not against the rules.
Well, we've never done it before. Just putting it there. Anyway, no, I want us both to catch and be a bit more competitive when he's in a swim that has a bit more water. Lovely. Let's get him back. And to think some people think Ed's a professional. This is what you don't see on all these films. But I thought you were about to put your bank sticks there, like they're in a different postcode.
No, I have to look, see the level.
No, I thought like you're putting your rear rests back
you
up
here. One
here.
rod up there and one rod down there. It just don't look right.
Yeah. People only see the good bits on film. This is what you don't see. Behind the scenes. Catch at all costs, even if it means cheating. It's wonky.
You're abusing me, are you?
There goes illegal rod number 1.
Well deep there.
How'd that feel going down? Filled with guilt?
Squelchy.
Oh, not filled with guilt or anything?
It's not against the rules.
Beep, beep, betrayal.
There's no betrayal. I have seen nothing up that end of the lake since I caught that fish. Everything is down this end. It's called good angling. And I just literally let go of this rod and cast it. And I saw another fish show straight towards that dome-shaped willow across there. So that's where the other rod's going now.
Right, I'll let Rob Hughes know when they're next doing the Carp Championships. If you're not catching, just move. I reckon he'll use that. That's where they're going wrong.
Yeah.
So that's saying red sky at night, red sky at night.
Shepherd's
Ed's
delight.
cheating.
No,
Oh,
not cheating. Just swims moved onto the fish. That's the way it works. If I'd known he was this competitive, you know, I'd have insisted on coming out with Luke.
well, you might have beat Luke.
Who won the last twice was you and Luke?
I can't remember.
Can you not remember?
No one remembers Luke's wins because they're normally really hollow with a single fish or something.
So what did you catch last time you were out with him?
Nothing.
No. Nothing but fishing.
That's a channel you need to watch before your French trip.
Right.
Well, I hope after that sequence of clips, you are all aware of how just outrageous I feel this whole thing is.
It's 2 bites there. 2.
I'm not weighing them though. There you go.
Ooh. Nice.
Controversial drink on my Instagram last year. Hot Bovril. Are you a pro Bovril or?
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever tried it. I must have tried it when I was a kid, but I don't know.
One of my mates used to have it in a sandwich. Just Bovril. I found that odd, but this is nice in cold weather.
It's just gravy, innit?
If it's a no, you can sling it. I won't be offended.
It's warm, wet, do.
So how's the move paid off so far?
It's definitely the right choice. You know, since I've moved, I've seen about 5, but they're just dotted everywhere from out here somewhere to right down on the dam wall and everywhere in between. So,
Yeah.
you know, that right-hand rod's on a fish. The left-hand rod's just kind of winged out where I saw one just before I moved the rods. But if I saw 2 show in the same area, I'd definitely move a rod onto them, but they're not. It's like one over there, one right down there, one down here. It's just, they just seem completely spread.
It's definitely dried up a little bit, even for me. Like, the fact we had those bites, 5 bites between us in a couple of hours, and there hasn't been a bite for a good hour or so now, which sounds like it's not a very long time, but considering how it was going, it's definitely like they've moved off. Either, I doubt that way because that's shallow, although the wind's picked up and it's not a very warm wind.
No.
Don't know.
It could work the other way. It could push him back up there tonight if this, because it's going to drop quite cold tonight, isn't it? So it could push him right the way back there, and tomorrow's got a bit of sun out of it, so they might be right up in the shallows tomorrow, and I might have made the wrong choice, but you know, I'm
being
happy
in the middle as well. I guess if they do move about, we're going to get a window where we'll get a few bites. Yeah. And the volumes of fish in, I'm sure that could be a good hit. Which is, I know you're begrudging me for having a 3rd rod. But that's why I'm being so quick. Because I think if they're there, you can get another bite much quicker if you get another rod back out. But
yeah,
it's going to be a cold one. I think it's going to get down to about 3 or 4 tonight, which is the coldest it's been in a long time.
I think it's the coldest, well, this year, certainly the last 9 months. I've not even seen a frost yet, and it's now mid-November, so it's not been cold.
So I reckon we'll give it till 10:30ish.
Yeah, get till then,
and then get the rods in, get a good nice stream of hit again tomorrow. Because I don't know about you, I don't fancy getting up at about 2 in the morning for 11-pound commons, even if it does help my lead.
Yeah,
I'd rather get some sleep.
It's no fun having 2 hours sleep. So no, I'd rather get a good night's kip and hit him tomorrow morning. You know, it gets light at just after 7, don't it? So we've got from 7 till 1. So a good few hours to try and hit a few fish.
Just checking though, when I wake up in the morning, you going to be here or?
It's hard to say.
Wherever.
Yeah, I might be right down on the damn wall.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Thought so much. Right. Grub soon, I think.
Well, I'm into my 2nd fish. I think it's a carp. It's not doing a great deal apart from nodding all the way in. So I'm a bit concerned it might be a big bream. But I'm told it's breaming now, but I don't know how big they go. I think it's a bit too weighty to be a little skimmer. But I'm just hoping it's a rather lethargic carp. But he's not done anything yet apart from just bang, bang, bang. This is on the other rod, not the one I had the fish on earlier. I'm using 2 different tactics on each rod. So this one is just a cell wafter, just fished with a bag and just put out there. And this one was put out right on the top of a showing fish. But it's taken 45 minutes for it to go. And it's going to my right up there. Saying I thought it was a bream earlier. I'm not seeing it yet, but it feels half decent now it's woken up. I'm just thinking a nice 20-pounder would help bring the tally back a little bit towards my direction. But then again, it could be another low double. They do hang on in here. Yeah.
That is 13 and a half.
13 and a half. Well, the move paid off with this 13 and a half pound. Nice little fish, and it's nice to bridge the gap and catch up with Joe a little bit. I think I'm still about 25 pounds behind, but yeah, I'm glad now I've moved. I've seen a few fish showing out there, so the fish have definitely moved from where I was up to here. So yeah, hopefully this is the first of many, so we'll see. Well, biggest one so far. This rod was in the water for about 10 minutes, and it's the same rod I've just caught from, so yeah, happy with this. £16.12. So they're getting bigger, and the gap is closing.
Well, about half an hour ago, I had another fish, a 12-pound mirror. Wasn't worth filming, so we stuck it straight back. And I totted up the scores, and you are 18...
I think I'm 18.10 behind.
18.10 behind, and it's just caught one, which we think may even scrape the 20 mark.
So this is the moment of truth. I could go into the lead, and it is worth mentioning I have had an aborted take and lost a fish as well, so it's kicking off for me a little bit at the minute. So I'm pretty sure this is the biggest fish of the session. It's bigger than that 16.12. And the weird thing is, I said it was a big fish as soon as I hooked into it, which quite often backfires. Right.
Remember, we're just weighing all these fish since the move for the sake of it. They're not actually relevant to the match.
I think it's good angling.
Any fish you catch to my right actually count.
The public will decide. I think it's good angling. Go on, call it.
That is... It's a 20.
Is it?
Yep.
Am I in the lead?
I have to get closer to read that, actually. That is 22.4.
Is it?
Yeah.
Awesome. 20. Not a bad fish as well.
Yeah, cool. Nice one. Oh, do you want me to film it?
Here she is, 22.4. That puts me in the lead. The strange situation is I've had one less fish than Joe. But with the 16, a couple of 13s, and now this 22, the average size has been a bit bigger. So whether that's something I'm doing, whether it's the rigs I'm using or what, I don't know. It probably isn't. It's probably just luck, if I'm honest. But happy enough to take the lead. So yeah, I'm going to put this fella back with a big smile on my face.
Right, well, as you know, Ed's in the lead by 3 pounds 6 ounces. So this one needed to be bigger than 3 pounds 6. And it is just about. At 12.12, I'm back in the lead. And really an out of the blue bite. Ed's been getting quite a few bites consistently on the same rod. And I put about 12 spots of bait out an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, about an hour and a half ago. I had a bite not long after that, and then it went dead again for about an hour. And another bite out of the blue puts you back in the lead. So it really is a game of leapfrog, this match so far. And we're still, in the scheme of things, only 7 hours in. It's a good fun, and I think we're both gonna have a ceasefire at about 10:30, get a good few hours sleep, and hit it again in the morning, because this all night, although fun, will be a bit tiring. Just getting back. So as your last time you saw us, I'd just taken the lead. I've since had another fish. I think my lead is now 22 something. I just had another bite as cooking tea, but we are winding in about half an hour. We're gonna get some sleep tonight because neither of us fancy doing this all night. This one feels all right size. I'm gonna go 16.8.
16 what?
8.
16.4.
Oh, 4 ounces.
Close.
That's another lovely chunk onto the weight. So I think I'm, what's that? 38-ish?
Yeah.
Is that about right? And there's my wife calling me.
There's probably a 38 in here I can catch it with.
Well, there we go, £16.4. I think this is my biggest one of the session. And again, it's a nice chunk, putting my lead over 30 odd pound, close to 40 pound now, I think, going into the final few minutes of the evening. As I said, we're both going to wind in, get some sleep and hit it again tomorrow morning. It's meant to rain tonight. And I think we're both pretty tired from a day's angling, with lots of bites. Very welcome. So it's ebbed and flowed. I had the lead, then lost the lead, got it back, and a nice chunk now going into the evening. And very nice fish as well, half linear, sort of lovely scales on it, and a lovely fight as well. They've all fought really hard, and also beat you up a bit on the mat. Lovely, slipping back. Morning.
Morning, you alright?
Yeah, well, I overslept, and I hoped that you're, well, I don't know, I just thought you'd feel good and come and wake me up, but no, you're already cracking on. The rod's been out for 2 hours.
Just about to brush my teeth, to be honest.
Well, you're saying change of plan as well.
Yeah, change of plan. There's a few more people turning up now. And I'm thinking a baited area for this morning might be the way to go. I don't think I can chase them up and down like I was yesterday with singles and bags, because I've got the feeling that it's Friday now. It's a lot drier than what it was yesterday. The sun's going to come out. So I think a venue like this is going to get a bit more busy. So I think I've got to concentrate what's in front of me instead of just dotting around and casting around. So I'm going to put a bit of a baited area out last night. I've learned a bit of what Joe caught, because he had the last 3 fish. So he did well last night. I thought I was just nipped in front, and then you snatched it back from me. So I think I'm 38 pound down at the minute. So I think the best way to do that is to get a bit of a baited area out there, get 2 rods on it, and see if I can have sort of 2 or 3 fish in quick succession before they wake up. The only problem is I've seen fish showing where I've moved from this morning. So it seems like this sun might move them back up the lake and put them into the shallow area a little bit, being it's going to be a little bit warmer today, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll bang them out and see what happens.
Nice, I'll get mine as well. Kettle's nearly boiled, so get the rods out, sit down, and I'll actually ask you how you've been fishing yesterday and now today as well, rig-wise.
Cool.
Cool. Little and large again. Our rods are all out. As you can see, it's absolutely glorious sunshine this morning, which I think we made the right decision winding in at 10, because it absolutely lashed it down for hours, didn't it?
Did you?
I think you were straight to sleep, so I messaged you saying, good job you wound in, then nothing.
Yeah.
You out like a light?
Yeah, I rang the missus and put the phone on silent, and then, yeah, passed out pretty quick. So yeah, it was a tiring day yesterday.
So rods are now back out, and we've both done pretty much the same. I've put a bit more bait out again as well. Probably about, I don't know, 10 to 15 spods. I look predominantly flake, and only probably 4 or 5 of whole boilies, so it's a lot of little bits out there. And what exactly is in your mix?
I've just got some crush boilers and some whole boilers, so I've got a bit more substance out than what you've got out there, to hopefully try and get a few fish feeding rather than just give them interest, because from what I saw yesterday and the amount of bites you had yesterday, I think they are feeding.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd probably go on your tactic if it was properly winter, but as it stands, it didn't drop down as cold as what we thought last night. And it's been mild leading up to this. I'm guessing the water temperature is still a reasonable temperature, so they've got a bit of boilie out there at the minute. So I'm hoping that change in tack could work. But yesterday I was using, well, 2 different tactics essentially. I was using a bag on one rod with a critically balanced bottom bait, like just a cell.
Yeah.
You know, normally coloured sort of cell bottom bait. So
That's a hatch type thing.
yeah, one of these. So it's just a cork dust wafter. So it's literally just taking the weight of the hook out and sitting there critically on the bottom. And that's just on a, you know, it's just a little rig with a little kicker out there, and just so it turns nicely, nice sharp hook. And that one didn't do anything at the start in where I was fishing to start off with. The one rod that went was my little kind of hinge stiff rig or hinge soft rig or whatever you want to call it. So basically a hinge rig with a little yellow essential pop up on it, glugged up to the max with pineapple flavouring, just so there's loads and loads of flavouring kicking out, and there's bright yellow, or is it orange? I don't know, I'm colourblind.
That's yellow.
Right, okay.
With a bit of orange glug.
Yeah, with a bit of orange glug. Bright yellow bait, just sitting out there, so it's something really visual. Now this is the one that went in the daytime, but at night, after it went dark, I had 5 bites on the other rod on a bag. So I think this really worked in the daytime as a visual single sitting out there, and then they wanted a bit of bait after the sun went down, and maybe that wasn't as visual as what it is in the daytime. So
Yeah.
I've stuck with the same tactic. I've got 2 different rigs out there, one with a bright bait, one with a dull bait, one with a bag on it, one on its own, and I've put 6 pods out there, so hopefully we get the fish feeding and get a few more fish.
It's looking good. And from what we know, deep end, shallow end, with this sun coming up, I'm hoping that any fish that did move down there will see this bit of sun after yesterday's miserable weather and think, oh, I might go up into the shallower water. Yeah. I do think it definitely seemed like we got hits of fish, so I think they're moving around in big groups.
Definitely.
So if they come back up from the deeper end today, and we've got that bait there, we could get, theoretically, a good little hit in a small window.
That's the plan. I mean, I've had a little lead around in this swim today. I didn't really lead around yesterday. But the bottom makeup is completely different to that swim up there. Up there, it's all gravelly. It's all kind of like this that you're sitting on. You know, it's like tap, 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 tap. This is more of a muddy bottom out there, and it's a lot deeper. So I think there's 2, you know, even though I've only moved 30 yards, there's 2 completely different areas out there. So
that's more like what I'm fishing over in my swim. I was saying yesterday, it just felt pretty much smooth, where you was getting tap and I was getting just soft drops. So I don't think it's silting, it's just sort of, like you say, a muddy-ish type of bottom. But the way I'm fishing it with the little bags on, I know that my bait's clearly presented because 8 bites, 8 landed.
Yeah, I've had 1 bite less than you and lost 2. So and that could make the difference at the end of the match. But I don't know where the fish are going to end up today. Like I say, they could end up there. The only fish I've seen this morning has been 2 fish in front of where I was fishing before. Yeah. I've seen nothing out here. I was actually up an hour before you, Joe, which makes a change for me. Yeah,
I overslept a bit. I didn't set an alarm. I thought I normally wake up when it starts to get light, but that baby's pretty dark, and I was very, very comfortable. So as you know, with this Prologic series, we feature a spotlight product in each of them, and today's is sleep systems. So I'm going to get them both out in a second and we'll run through them. But you gave me the wide boy. I'm not really sure why, but I'm not complaining because it was very, very comfortable last night. So we'll get them out and talk through them.
Here's the first bite of the morning. I don't know what it is because it's, oh yeah, I do know what it is. It's a bloody bream.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, that would explain why it's not fighting. First bream of the session when it comes to me. Yeah. Oi. Not impressed. I thought I was going to claw a few pounds back then. Never mind, get them back out. Oh, into another one, and this one feels like a carp. I literally hooked into it and it just didn't move. It just stayed in one place, just banging its head. Almost like it was weeded or around a bit of a stick or something like that. But now it's kiting, it's going to go over my other rod if I'm not careful. Typical rubbish bite that we've had here. I don't know what it is, whether it's winter or what, but all the bites are just really crap. I think we've had 15 or 16 bites now between us, and probably 2 rippers. The rest have either just tightened up or most of them have just dropped back. Oh, it's right under the other line. Right, I'm gonna have to go underneath it. Get it away from the other line, should be right now.
See now what you've done there though, is you left your net here.
See my friend Joe.
I'm filming at the moment.
He's gonna bring the net for me. Hey Joe, this could be a 38 pound, we could draw a level. What do you reckon?
If it does, I'll call the match short here and say you've won. That'll be nice. Is this the start of our bait and weight approach paying off?
I hope so. I mean, I don't necessarily like all this sunlight out and it's baking warm. We're fishing in 12, 15 foot of water, whatever it is out there. But I suppose it is quite coloured and it's not really going to affect it down that deep. But yeah, hopefully the first of many. So be fair, these rods are really good fun. It's like, well, they call it old school rods, the Avenger old schools. And it's very much like the rods I grew up with in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s. More of a through action rod. Plenty of eyes on them. Not necessarily built for long distance casting. Just built for this sort of thing, you know, casting up to 80, probably 90 yards. And then playing fish like this and just having a bit of fun, really. Up a double. I was hoping for a 20.
Might as well leave the net there. You're probably due a swim change, aren't you?
I'll let you call it. We've both said about 16.
We're both over. That is 14.10.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just shy of 15. Or 14.14, something like that.
It's a little bit lively, so it won't waste too much time. But this one put up a hell of a scrap. And I'll be honest with you, by the way he was fighting, I thought it was into another 20 pounder. But he's not even 15 pound, he's 14 pound 12, which puts me...
14.14, I'll give you those extra 2
Oh,
ounces.
14.14, oh, thank you very much. It's very nice. So I'm now about 22 pounds behind, so I need a 20 to catch up. But the fact I've had this morning and Joe hasn't had anything, and I've had a bream, I don't know if that means anything, but I've had a bream as well feeding on the spot. But yeah, I'm kind of hopeful I might be able to get close with the next fish, and we've got about 2.5 hours left of the match, so there's every chance for me to get 2 more fish, and hopefully Joe doesn't and I can take the lead, but time will tell.
Well, as you saw, since our morning cup of tea, Ed has had a couple of fish. Unfortunately, one of them was a bream. I say unfortunately for him. For me, that was quite a good thing, because if they'd both been carp, I think it'd be much, much closer than it is now. It's about 22 pound, 12 ounce, something like that. So it is very, very close. It could be 120 or a couple of quick bites that swings it completely round. So I'm hoping the next bite is for me. But I did say I was going to talk to you about these bed chairs. Now, there's 2 in the range. This is the Prologic Inspire sleep system. I was given the wide version, not sure exactly why. I'm not going to take it to heart, but it was very, very comfortable. And the difference between the widths of these is this one's 95 centimeters and the standard is 85 centimeters, but they're both 210 centimeters in length. A few more bits of information about the bed chairs themselves. Working from the top, you've got a peach skin shell on the very, very top. So it's a nice and smooth, slightly textured top. It's not ultra slippy like some of those, I think it's nylon material ones. Just a nice, warm, comfortable material on the top. If we fold onto the inside, you see we've got a really fine fleece on the head and chin area. So that's perfect for, if you're like me and you've got some very weak beard hair going on, you don't want anything to rub that off. That's nice and soft on my chin. So it was very, very comfortable. Inside is a hollow fiber fill, so it's nice and warm, and both the sleep systems are 5 season in grade, so nice and warm. Last night got down to, I'd say, 4 or 5 degrees in the wind. So I had it all shut down. It was nice and cozy in here, and I was really, really toasty. I actually took my hoodie off at one point. So from mid-November, I know it's not super cold yet, but it was nice to know that I was really toasty without any additional clothing or hot water bottle or anything like that. So really nice and comfortable. If I go up to the top here, you can see we've got these 2 little plastic clips, which keeps the zips in position if I pop it out. So once you undo one, obviously this is the side I'm going to get in and out of. That one I can keep the clip on, so it shouldn't loosen that side. And as you saw from just doing that, crash zips, so I can just pull that really easily and it doesn't snag. On the inside, we've got it's like a really thick material that stops it from snagging up on the material. And you've also got these wind baffles as well. That's perfect for just stopping those little drafts that could potentially come through the zips. So once you've got your body heat in, then you've trapped all your heat in there, there's no way of that escaping, and there's also no way of any wind cutting into them. And that is pretty much the Inspires in a nutshell, other than to mention that they've got legs from foot end all the way up to head end, and it's dual legs. So rather than single legs head and top, you've got dual legs. So it doesn't matter where I sit, I could go all the way to the very end or all the way to the top. It's not going anywhere. All fully adjustable. We're on a slightly sloped bank here, so I just raised all the front legs and it didn't budge. And it's not ultra firm in the middle, like some bed chairs have gone down this route of really solid in the middle, which sometimes just it's a bit too much. There's still the support there, but I found that when I was led in there last night, I sunk into it ever so slightly. It was that perfect balance between firm enough for my back but nice and soft enough that I sort of felt hugged whilst I was in there. So really, really comfortable night's sleep. Proof in that is that I overslept and missed the sunrise. That's my bad. Anyway, back to the fishing. I think I'm gonna redo both my rods because we've got about 2.5 hours left. They haven't gone off, so just to freshen up rigs, a little bit of extra bait maybe, and hopefully I can get another bite before we finish. Oh dear, Ed.
Not what I wanted.
Has your head gone?
No, not yet.
Well, just over half an hour left. You're in again. This one a bit more carpy, it's nodding.
It's a bit of a headbang, this one. I think I'm in Bream Central at the minute. I'm just
playing
hoping...
havoc with my heart, because every time you get a bite, I'm thinking you're going to claw it back, and a bream pops up.
Yeah. I mean, I had a couple like this yesterday, and then I got them in the margins, and they woke up and they were actually carp. But the fact that I've had 3 bream this morning so far doesn't fill me with hope that this is actually a carp. I just want it to go poof, start ripping line from the clutch, like a 23-pounder would.
I think it's just so close. And knowing how quick the bites came together yesterday, if the fish turn up, there's still every chance of a couple of bites in quick succession for either of us.
I'm playing them very carefully at the minute after dropping them 2 fish yesterday. I think sometimes they're just lightly hooked. I still don't know what this is, to be honest. Could be a keen bream. It's kiting a lot. If I was a gambling man, I'd say bream.
And if it's a carp, I'd like to think it's not bigger than 23 or 22, 12, whatever it is you need. If it is 22, 12, then there's something wrong with it.
Yeah. Do you know what? The more I think it's a carp. Because it's just gone a long, long way. Kited. Oh no.
It is
oh
a
yes,
carp.
it's carp. It could be the smallest carp I've had. That's one step closer. It's a low double, so that puts me within about 10 pounds. So I'm going to unhook it, get the rod back out, and hope I can get another one in the next half an hour.
22, 12 behind.
Yeah, this one is my smallest of the session, and he might not even be a double.
I said 9.2, didn't I?
Yeah.
8.12.
8.12, okay. So, basically 13 pound behind, which was my smallest fish up until this point. So, let's hope I can get another. Well, here we go. Might be my smallest fish of the session, but I've got a bite. I've got a bite. I've got a bite.
I'll put him back. We've seen it. Oh, this is painful. It genuinely is about 20 minutes left. Heads in again. Let's try and get this one back. There he goes.
Don't know what it is.
Please be a bream.
It could be a bream.
I need it to be a bream. Yeah, 14 pound exactly. I think you're off.
This doesn't feel like a 14 pounder. Feels like another 8 pounder.
But it's another bite. 2 in quick succession. This is scaring me. I've had nothing, not even a sniff today. I think you caught your other line.
Yeah.
Or is that another bite?
Let's cut the line. It's a mirror. It's not very big.
Oh.
What do I need? 14?
14 you need.
It's not 14.
I've been helping you up to this point, but it's this close. I feel like you need to do this yourself.
You bastard.
And just to show that we're not making this up. We did 1 o'clock to 1 o'clock. 12:42. Get rid of my Scrabble notifications. 12:42, we've got 18 minutes to go. That's how close this is. You're looking at
12.
So you're, ooh, where are we going? It's pretty much 12 bang on as well, isn't it? You're 2 pounds behind with 18 minutes to go. The fastest I've ever seen you move.
The fastest I've ever moved. I can't believe you wiped that other rod out.
I reckon with this little sequence, a bit of dramatic music, it can make it look like you've got a small window to catch a 50 from the margin, but actually you're fishing Clattercote to catch 2 pounds.
It's all fishing. Doesn't matter how big they are, says the specimen hunter. Well, I said I needed 2 fish to win. I just didn't think they'd be the 2 smallest fish of the session. That 8 3/4, and now a 12 pound dead on, which puts me about 2 pounds short. I think we need to do some proper maths, but by our quick mathematics, I think I'm 2 pound under, and unfortunately this one wiped out the other rod as well, so I've just had to redo both rods, and there's only about 5 minutes left of the match to go, so late flurry, but I don't think I'm going to do it.
2.
Hang on. 2, yeah.
8.
Oh, hang on.
No. No. You were 3 minutes to get it in, but I think it counts if you hooked it in the time.
Yep.
Ah, there's no point in totting up. I just got hope it's a bream, but I don't think it's going to be. You've got to run a carp. Oh, how deflating.
It could be a bream.
Huh?
It could be a bream.
I'm not joking when I tell you, we have 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go.
It feels like a bream.
Feels like a bream. Suspense.
I think it's a bream. It's a bream.
I know you're facing me right now, but I'll try and do an accurate representation of Ed's face right now. There's still 2 minutes. You've still got to run out there. Come here, Ed, come on. You don't take me as a hugging type. You look like you need one.
We ain't done yet.
20 seconds.
We still need to add things up properly.
All right, well, we've got... I think that's your line settling.
I think it's a line settling.
There we are, 1 o'clock.
Done.
Match end, right, so as long as my calculations are correct, I think I've clinched it.
Right, where are we then? Hang on.
48, £3.4, I believe.
3 1/4. So yeah, 3 4.
3 4. So your total is
101.
4, which is
4.
what I've got. And mine was 11, so this is pound now. Plus 11. 101.
101.
But then my ounces are 4, 8, 2, 2, 12.
That's one's done me.
4 and 4. Should be 103.4. 36, so yeah, 2 1/4.
2 1/4.
Yeah, £2 was in it.
Like I said, the last match I fished was the British Championships in 2007. So I'm a little rusty.
How'd you do then?
Got to a semi-final and missed out by £2 on the final. Missed out by £2 on the final. £2 on the final. What was I again?
101.4, another 103.4.
Okay.
That is a damn close match. Closest we've ever done. Like sometimes you see these things on YouTube and think, surely that's all scripted. That was, honestly, you had a bite within minutes of the end. It had to be a bream.
Yeah.
And my rods have done absolutely nothing all day, so there's nothing I could have done today. You were just catching me up steadily. I think give it another 20 minutes, I think you would have me.
Yeah, I think basically them two lost fish in the night, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, an aborted take and one I lost off Ian. You know, if I'd have got them, that'd have changed things around. So, but it's been great fun. Enjoyed it. It's been quite intense at times. What was you saying earlier? Long periods of boredom followed by short periods of activity.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. That is as close as it gets when it comes to a match, I believe, with £2 in it with last minutes to go. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. And again, check out the bed chairs that we looked at today, the Inspires, both the the standard one and the large that I used. And yeah, I'm absolutely knackered. I'm going to drive them now, and it's probably both stinking and caked in, I don't know what, boilies mainly. But yeah,
I'm going to have a little cry.
So I didn't celebrate when you looked away then.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Of course you didn't.
Just turned the cameras off after my celebration. Ed's in again, but from the speed of your reading, I think it's the same species as the last one.
Really strange, isn't it? I've had about 8 bites today. 5 bream and 3 carp.
Yeah, something like that.
And you're only 10 yards away from me? Now, weird, isn't it? How come you haven't been plagued by bream? It's unfair.
Well, I've not been plagued by anything. But anyway, this is just
bream.
What a way to end the session.
Just compounds my miseration. My miseration? My misery.
He's actually staying on to fish for the bream.